And first the anthems, and we will hear from Jenny O'Keefe. Well, they're looking good spirits to the Irish, and again, good support here for them tonight. Not quite on a scale they got used to at Parramatta, where they really did take to the side, but many of them have travelled, and quite a lot of the England supporters over here to support Ireland as well. Now, Fiji's anthem, sung by Lena Cook, Wati Smith and Lasai Utuvau.
On the Isles of Fiji, as we stand united under noble banner blue, as we honor and defend the cause of freedom ever, all but much together. God bless Fiji.
That's Fiji's anthem, performed by Oceans. And now we understand that Fiji, instead of doing their traditional pre-match dance, are going into a huddle and will be performing a prayer. So it means a lot to this Fijian side, and prayer means a lot to the Fijian side as well, because they have a prayer meeting every morning before training and a prayer meeting at the end of the day as well, after their work has finished. Well, their work is just starting now, as it is for the Irish, and at stake this semi-final place. What an incentive it is, Phil, to play Australia next weekend.
Well, there's every possibility that both of these sides may be slightly overfaced with that, thinking about the game against Australia instead of the next 80 minutes. In fact, it's the first 1 minute of this match that both sides need to focus on. And Ireland, really, as you say, having ridden their luck so far in this tournament, they've progressed through the group stages. Very few people expected them to be here for this game, and now need to start this game particularly strongly.
Well, they're on a roll at the moment, the Irish. They've lost only one of their last 6 internationals, and that was that 20 points to 22 defeat by Tonga 2 weeks ago. Of course, they're going into this game on the back of that magnificent 34-16 win over Samoa last week. They've shown they can stand up to the big guns. They're not the biggest side in the competition, the Irish, but they have shown great heart, and they need to do so again here tonight as the game is underway. Ashley Klein, the referee, and he knows these Fijians well. He knows the Irish players well, but he refereed Fiji's game. against the Scots, and a fiery affair that was. And I suspect there might be a bit of fieriness early on, Steve-O.
I really feel that Ireland have to play very, very solid in the middle. You know what the Fijians are capable of. They love to keep this ball alive. They take so many risks. And when you do that at top international level, you can come up with plenty of errors.
And the first kick of the game, and just for a moment I thought Griggs was going to come up with a 40-20 with his first kick. But here's Jared Hayne, one of the most experienced players in this side, only 20 years of age, but a former Kangaroo. He played for Australia against New Zealand last year, did Jared Hayne, Parramatta player. He takes the first hit up for them, and then a familiar figure for Super League followers of Semi Tadulala. Bradford's Semi Tadulala plays the ball then. Here's Ashton Sims, Brisbane Bronco, up to the halfway line. Sims. Ben Harrison in with the tackle. Groom. And that's Sevenaya Koroi, who's wearing 18, started the game, was supposed to be on the bench, but promoted from the bench, has to keep his pre-match numbering, Koroi, so he's in 18. That's the fifth tackle. Ireland restricting Fiji's progress, but the kick to come, and Groom will put it in. Aaron Groom, and the ball's gone backwards. Finnegan on the chase, and it's 6 to go, says Ashley Klein. So Ireland made a play for that ball, and here's Wes Nagama, the captain, and Nagama back in field, and this is where they're threatening. Nagama is threatening. Nagama for the first try of the game, is he? He's over that try line. Has he got the ball down? He has, says Ashley Klein. Ireland thought they'd close that kick down, but the ball rebounding, and Wes Nagama, the captain, having the pace and then the strength, despite the Irish challengers, to get over the try line, and they look to the heavens early on here.
Well, here's the charge down from Ireland. Finnegan does his job, doesn't he? He puts pressure on the kicker, but unfortunately for the Irish, they can't get their hands on the ball. And then all of a sudden, you see a man here in the number 3 jersey just appears to be running faster and more powerful than anybody else on the field. Look at the speed. He's accelerating away from Richards at that stage, crashes into Blanche, and then crashes over the try line. Excellent positioning from the referee to be in front to see any possible grounding. Groom does well, doesn't he? After the kick's put down, he did not panic. He made sure he got back, got his hands on the ball, and then released the power and pace out wide. Nagama didn't need the wingman. He had the individual brilliance to come back and score close to the post. Perfect beginning there in the first 2 minutes of Fiji.
And Wes Nagama will attempt to add the extras to his own try, the Newcastle Knights player. And he's a pretty accurate kicker as well. He kicked 7 from 10 in the big win over France that got Fiji's campaign underway. He's kicked that one as well. And Fiji off to the best possible start. Ireland off to the worst possible start for them. They needed to really get a grip on this Fijian side and to prevent them doing exactly what they did there. And Joe Dakitoga, the coach, well, he didn't look it, but he must be pretty satisfied with that.
He certainly will, but Ireland really fell for the sucker punch there. Okay, they got the ball back, did Fiji. They got the extra 6, but a lot of the players just stopped. They thought perhaps it was a knock-on. Not good play in defence from Gleeson and Littler, and Michael Platt left Nagama an open run. Can't afford to do that. Got to make sure you get down low.
Well, they didn't start that well against Samoa either, but they came good in that game. Can they do that again tonight? Long way to go here.
Interesting to contrast the differing starts. The Northern Hemisphere sides, France and Scotland, struggling against Polynesian opponents in that opening quarter. You have to get the ball and you have to get out to your half. I know Ireland haven't had much chance of possession, but the clearing runs weren't quite strong enough.
Bakaya in possession for the Fijians, and Ireland really have hardly had their hands on the ball. Here's Ashton Sims. Good work from the Broncos' second rower. That's the 5th tackle, though. And the ball is back with Groom, and Groom again puts the kick in. And Damien Blanche across to field that one now. Then the Irish have their hands on the ball. They need a good set of 6 here.
They've got to settle down a little bit, just work their way back into the game. Okay, bit of a shock. A little bit rusty out wide in that centre position. They've got to make sure that they get that sorted out. And what about Damien Blanche? What a World Cup this guy's having.
Absolutely, he's got a hat-trick, of course.
And this is a tactic that I think Ireland have employed successfully in the World Cup, going down the middle of the field to tire their opponents out. There's sometimes a tendency when you play against a bigger opposition to try and pass the ball and go to the space out wide. Ireland won't do that here. They're going to take Fiji on down this middle channel.
Liam Finn puts the kick in. It's into the hands of Tadulala, and he hit that one at pace. Not the best kick from Liam Finn there. It could have been ugly, that. Tadulala, though, was stopped in his tracks.
And the thing is, he was not put under pressure. So he could have really selected a better position, take nothing away from Tadulala, read it well.
There's Asea Sadrau. Sadrau starting the game in place of Diva Vese, the prop forward who scored in the last game. Big rumbling prop forward, Diva Vese, but he was given a 2-match ban for tripping against the Scots. And he appealed against that this morning. The appeal failed, so Sadrau is in the starting lineup. Here's Jared Hayne. Hayne stabs the kick in. It's a good one up the line. And Luarte is chasing it. Luarte was chasing that one, but the ball finding touching goal.
Well, that's a massive relief for Ireland there, not to have to bring it ball back from inside their own goal area, or even in fact close to the try line. But look what sort of speed they're able to get in here. At the moment, 4 Fijian defenders. More aggression, I think, in their defence than that from Ireland.
Yeah, quick turnaround for both these sides. Just 5 days since they last played, and for the Fijians, it's 3 games in the space of 10 days for them. And last, we're hearing the Irish support. The Irish fans finding their voices. Maybe some of them have taken a bit of time to get up here.
Well, I think Ireland thought it'd be a little bit easy to get over the advantage line, but full credit to the Fijian pack. They're getting there in numbers, and that is heavy defence.
Grix felt that. They're going down the short side with Bezic. Duran, Blanche. Blanche is away. Gleeson's pass. Blanche needs some support. He's going to take on it. He's going to go all the way. What a try. What a World Cup Damien Blanche is having. What a World Cup the Wakefield Flyer is having.
Just have a look on that touchline.
Ashley Klein, coolness personified, says, let's have a look at the touchline. Let's have a look at the dead ball line. Did he get too close for comfort?
I think we're going to see a great game of rugby league here tonight. I think this is the second score inside the first 8 minutes, and what a brilliant piece of skill this is. To see the space down the short side, the wonderful skill had taken place before that to transfer the ball to Blanche so quickly. He looked on the inside for support, actually decelerated to a certain point, and then when realised he was on his own, pressed the accelerator again and has scored without any doubt at all, closer to the post to make this kick that much easier.
Well, a hat-trick already in the World Cup. 2 hat-tricks in the colours of Ireland, Damien Blanche. That's his 7th try for Ireland in just 6 appearances. And that is the sort of try that will galvanise a side, that's for sure.
It's an amazing thing about World Cups. This is the decision.
Video ref Phil Cooley awards the try, as expected, to Damien Blanche. And
Mr.
what a
Kelly
response that is, what a response.
Mr. Kelly will be very happy. They took the gamble on the short blind side, superb hands. But this is where a winger comes into his own. You see how he just came in on an arc, looked as though he was going to try to step, and then just went round the fullback. Absolutely superb play, quick hands. They didn't expect that. They're anticipating a charge down the middle, and that is a wonderful winger strike. It's brought the best out of him, this fella, this World Cup. He's loving it. They ain't.
And Pat Richards, who set a new World Cup points in a game record last time out, on target from the word go here, and we're back to all square, 6 points apiece.
Well, the Irish hooker Bob Bezic only played a small part in that try, but it was probably the most important part, Bill. His eyes spotted the short side numbers there. Fiji 1 man short with just that middle land, and they were able to get the ball to Blanche, who is their form player, you'd have to say. Get the ball to your best players in the big games and see if they can come up with the goods.
Bezic, Duran and Gleeson, the creators of that try that has got Ireland back to 6 points apiece. Well, that was a bit sloppy. Fortunately, Fiji weren't there in time to capitalise on it, and Gareth Hegarty picks it up. Referee Ashley Klein calls held. Hegarty plays the ball, and Gareth Haggerty, a bit of an injury doubt going into this game, and he got up from playing that ball actually a little bit gently. Ireland then having to work this ball out from deep in their own half. Finnegan, Ashton Sims there to make the tackle. Grix, here's Eamon O'Carroll. That's the 5th tackle. Fiji penning Ireland down deep in their own territory. Needs to be a good kick from Grix, and it's comfortably dealt with by Jared Hayne. Hayne runs it back, but he's met by the Irish defenders.
Well, they're going to go like for like, haven't they? We've seen Fiji working so hard to make life difficult for Ireland to go forward. But I suppose once you're up towards the halfway line, I don't know, the meters seem to come a little easier. Hayne goes straight, direct route at Grix, who kicked the ball. And the power of these big men are just forcing the Irish players to cling on as best possible.
Uwati was strong with the run, so too is Jason Bukuya. And Ashley Klein not falling for that one.
That's good refereeing as well. Oh, beautiful play there.
And they were almost through with Noilia. And they're on the roll. It's on the last here. Hayne gets the ball away. Sadrau driving for the line. Are they going to be able to hold him up on the last?
I'll give you the opportunity first.
Good work by Simon Finnegan.
The penalty, Steve-O.
Took the advantage. He allowed the play to go on, but beautiful run by the standoff, Noile. Look at the skill factor here. Good job that Platt was equal to it.
Stay on the line.
And he's allowing the advantage, but non-forthcoming, so therefore the penalty. They've gone for the quick tap.
Sims went charging onto that ball, hoping to catch the Irish cold, but Lee Duran stood his ground. Sims wrestles his way free and then has a little snap at Gleeson after the ball is gone. Noilia, 2 tackles gone. Test for the Irish defence. Sukanaveta, he gets the ball away. And then it's knocked on by Jared Hayne. And they can be prone to the odd error. Well, more than the odd error, the Fijians made 18 in the last game.
Well, it was Ireland's ability to defend their goal line against Samoa that has put them into this match. And again, they look strong. They had Finn in front of Hayne, the right sort of numbers. The only worrying aspect here for Andy Kelly on the side is that almost 75% of this match has been played in Ireland's half of the field. And rugby league tends to be a territorial battle. Ireland need to get some of the game in the other half of the pitch.
They've got to be very careful as well, Phil, in regards to that the fullback Haynes. He loves nothing better than to come outside the centre, Wes Nguama. And we've already seen Ireland have been caught out on that left-hand side defensively. Oh, that's a poor ball. Should never have been offloaded.
It's come up for Fiji, and they're going to try and get this ball wide. Ireland quickly up to close down the options. Koroi plays the ball. Here's Vunamatatoru. Or Vunamattaratu. That pronunciation could change a few times during the course of the evening. 2 tackles gone, and Ireland under a real pressure here. Is Ashton Sims once more, and again Sims thundering the ball up the middle of the field. And again, he's taking him on. Took on Bob Bezic then. Noilia, eventually they get him down. He almost managed to find Jared Hayne. Just 4 tackles gone. Aaron Groom trying to put the step on, and Groom has almost got away. They eventually get a hold of him. That's the 5th tackle. Can they escape from this? Vunamattaratu puts the kick in. He's chasing it himself. In the end, it's Platt who manages to hack the ball clear.
I think Ireland were hoping they weren't going to have to defend as long in their own zone as they did against Samoa. But they've started this game rather poorly, really. A mistake inside their own half, an inability to get the ball downfield, either through runs or kicks. He's putting them under massive strain already.
Good work, though, wasn't it, from the prop forward, Vunamattaratu, mainly due to the fact that the man playing the ball, Aaron Groom, he's their major kicker. And it was the prop forward that did a good one there. Platt had to be aware.
Richards again getting fantastic distance on that kick. But Jared Hayne obviously knew what was coming. He was well positioned to take that one. You saw Ryan Tandy getting ready to come on. Had a big game against Samoa last time out for the Irish, Tandy did. Well, he's on the sidelines, waiting to come on. Sadrau now. Game being played at Skill Park here on the Gold Coast. Magnificent stadium. This is a real lesson in how to build a state-of-the-art stadium. The local authority and the Queensland government responsible for this. Semi Tajulala across the field. Sims takes that ball and it's left Bezic on the ground. Bezic's getting to his feet. It really was ball and all. Here's Aaron Groom. Groom again looking for the gap. He's found it, Aaron Groom. What defence that was from Platt. What great defence from Platt.
Littler's come up with it. Boy, it looked as though he was going to go in at the corner. Platt had to take him, and the ball ricocheted away, and the centre, Stuart Littler, saved the day.
Well, under pressure here, you have to survive. They've done that, but can they clear downfield? Just look at Fiji's intensity in defence. Here's the real look. He just pauses, then goes through Finn's tackle, presses hard for the line. Platt pulls him down, back up on his feet, juggles and loses the ball for Littler to dive on.
And it gets better for the Irish because they get the penalty. And again, it was great work from Damien Blanche, who got them out of their 30. And then the penalty is awarded to the Irish.
He just works overtime, this fella, Damien Blanche. It's amazing what a World Cup. You bring out so many youngsters and so many players perhaps not known worldwide. But Damien Blanche has really made a name for himself here.
Here's Ben Harrison, another one of the players who's really benefited from this experience. They'll go home with so much more to add to their game with some of these players. Here's Ryan Tandy now. So Ireland have survived on their own try line. Can they now hit the other end of the field? They're only about 10 metres out. Finnegan now finds Finn. Finn to Grix. They're stacked up deep. Here's Platt joining in with the attack. Oh, that's a bad pass from Platt, and it's snapped up by the Fijians. It's snapped up by Jason Bakuya.
Well, the timing was all right, wasn't it, in that backline shot? Passing the ball, having numbers running into holes, but at the wrong time. And then I don't know whether there's sort of pressure really because they'd pre-rehearsed the play to pass the ball. That tends to happen sometimes. And there wasn't real fluency, was there, as you tend to see when Australia move the ball wide.
Very poor to do an inside pass when you're doing it blind. You didn't know whether there was anybody there. It's a good job that Scott Grix, the standoff, got back quickly enough.
Bill, that's an example. Fiji realise that rugby league at this level is about field position. Playing the game as much as you possibly can, as far away from your try line as you possibly can.
Good run from Richards, though, returning that kick. Here is Platt. Makes some yards, 2 tackles gone. And Ben Harrison now. Up to the halfway line, the Irish come.
That's good work as well. Hard work from the forward. They're over the halfway line. Oh, what a hit there.
But Tandy felt that. He then got some extras from Noelia, didn't like that. And the kick into the corner. Very coolly done by Jared Hayne. Took that with one hand. There's Alipati Noelia.
And that's the best starting position, isn't it, that Ireland have been in this game. They've turned the ball over to the opponents, but never in this sort of position. Can they focus here now for 6 tackles? 2 already gone, halfway through the set.
The Fiji in possession deep in their own half. The Irish, though, already have problems. Let's go down to the sidelines here from Ben Pro.
You speculated about the condition of Gareth Haggerty, Bill. Ryan Tandy coming on a few moments ago to replace him. He came into this game carrying a knock. It's a left shoulder problem. He had a pain-killing injection before the game. He's had to come off after that tackle, and the Irish medical team just waiting to see if he can continue later in this game.
That is a blow for the Irish because Gareth Haggerty has had a big World Cup as the Harlequins player. Really shown up strongly, and Michael Platt took his time.
He's such a casual player, too casual at times.
But Haggerty on the sideline at the moment.
What about the workload from this standoff, Alipati Noile? Not only does he do it with ball in hand, he works overtime in defence.
6 points apiece here at the Skilled Stadium. Ireland going behind early on, but then this guy, Damien Blanche, getting them back into the game with a wonderful try.
Well, that looked high. Was it Tandy who crashed down? The Irish supporters on the far side of the ground appealing for a penalty.
Finn's kick is another wasted opportunity to try and turn this Fijian side round.
They can't afford to be doing that. Right down the throat of his fullback, Jared Haynes. It's such a talent.
Well, that's what they wanted, and Finn has picked it back up. And then they get the penalty, and eventually Ashley Klein is going to have a word with somebody because there was a use of a knee there. Well, that's about the third tackle in a row that the Fijians have gone in late.
Well, Jared Hayne, they've lost the ball here. He sort of comes over. I don't know if it's his foot or his knee there. Look.
Well, that's a Cumberland throw. I thought that was banned.
Went over the top of Liam Finn.
And Ashley Klein is still having a word with Jared Hayne, telling him it was dangerous. Well, this could be dangerous, and that's another penalty. Fiji stole that ball in the tackle. And now they're feeling the pressure. Back-to-back penalties for the Irish. We've seen this before. We saw it with Tonga. Couldn't keep their discipline.
Silly play by Jason Bukia, the loose forward. He's put a lot of pressure on his own teammates.
Tandy plays that ball. Eamon O'Carroll driving for the try line, the Wigan prop. He's driven back, though, eventually by the Fijians. But they're right underneath those posts. Again, they go short. Tandy will try his luck. But can Tandy get over? He's just short.
What an effort from the scrum half, Aaron Groom. How on earth did he stop the big fella, ball and all?
Tandy gets to his feet, plays the ball. Will they go out wide this time, or will Grix take them on? Grix gets the ball away to the fullback, Platt. Platt, nice pass from him. Fitzpatrick puts the kick in, but it's comfortably dealt with by Semi Tajilala.
Well, it didn't appear as though Ireland had the necessary skill to get the ball to some space out wide, break through the Fijian defence. They were brave and aggressive runs in the middle of the field.
Just
It
panic.
was a little hurried, wasn't it? The kick stabbed through to Tajilala. Good
Cheers,
game
man.
though, great opening quarter.
And this time it's the Irish. Weren't square. I think Lee Duran was the culprit.
They're just getting a little bit too excited, Ireland. They knew they were in a pretty good position in regards to popping over for try number 2, but you can see there that Lee Doran did not get back the required 10 and wasn't even square at the play the ball area. I've been impressed with this fella, Ashton Sims. He's a toughie.
Blood coming from his ear by the look of things for Ashton Sims. And was there another problem for the Irish? Because Lee Duran seemed to be just clutching his wrist after that penalty was awarded. And here is Sims. 2 tackles gone. He'll play the ball just inside the Irish 20. Groom again, busy. Bezic with the tackle. Harrison helping him out. Aaron Groom once more. Groom back up the middle of the field to the captain Wes Nakama, who got the first try of the game. He'll play off. Was that a little knock on?
Yes,
It was from Sukanaveta. I spoke about the errors. They made 18 handling errors in the game against Scotland and they lost it.
Well, some congratulations all around here now for Ireland. Again, they're building in confidence, recognising that even when Fiji get close to the try line, they've got the organisation, strength and discipline to see them off.
Yeah, the Scots got in the face of these Fijian players and won that one 18-16. An historic night for Scottish Rugby League, that was. Their first ever World Cup win. Ollie Wilkes with the late try, Danny Brough with the conversion, and the Scots were celebrating. OK, the World Cup ended with that heavy defeat, but they got the win they wanted. And it was against Fiji, so it showed that this Fijian side can be beaten. France didn't know how. France were on the receiving end of that 42-6 defeat. Fitzpatrick. The game just calming down a little bit after that frantic opening salvo.
And one thing we've seen from Ireland, Bill, they're able to convert the chances into tries. It's what gave them such a resounding victory over Samoa. And they've had one chance to score in this game and they came up with 6 points.
It was played at, says Ashley Klein. Grix breathes a sigh of relief. That kick was charged down by the Fijians, and Ireland will get head and feet at the scrum.
Well, the charge down kick, which Samoa benefited from earlier, was scored by a try with the Gama. Here it'll just be another 6 tackles for Ireland.
I think the officials got it right as well. Ashley Klein could see that Ashton Sims had gone, okay, he turned his body, but once you raise your arm, that's attempting to have a charge down.
Well, Fitzpatrick seemed to be taken high there. Referee said play on. Littler on the halfway line.
I've been impressed with Ashley Klein as well, because he realises that a lot of these players have played several games and they will be tired. He's allowing them a little bit of latitude, but not on that occasion. They were all over him.
Well, Simon Finnegan's the player who's received the penalty. You have to be impressed with the Irish back row. Harrison, Duran and Finnegan, all high, heavy work rate in defence and carrying the ball.
This is an interesting decision that they're going to go for the 2 points. We know the quality of this guy, Pat Richards, but it's about 41 metres out.
Oh, it's well within his range. Pat Richards, this one will still be going up when it goes over the posts.
I think it may be a ply as well from Kelly in regards to, okay, they've been put under the cosh a little bit. Haven't had possession for quite some time, just a couple of errors, and maybe it's just time to take a breather, Phil.
Do you think everyone starts the game thinking it's going to be a high-scoring match, and then when you sort of get into it and you realise that both defences are pretty strong, maybe you respect and value the opportunity for 2 points far more?
I think they've run out of energy, both sides. They really have given it to each other in the opening.
And it's a warm evening. It's been a breezy day on the Gold Coast, but the temperature has been high. Oh, Richards has missed that one. It was still going up, but it was wide of the target.
They'll still get possession back from the dropout. It was a gamble.
Player being treated and just getting strapped up. It's Jason Bakuya, I think.
Let's go.
No, it's Sevenar Koroy, in fact, who's had the bandaging applied.
Stay behind.
So Jared Hayne will launch this one from his own 20-metre line. It's a good kick as well. Richards retreating to take that around his own 20 and then turns and finds the Fijians waiting for him. So Ireland back in possession. Eamon O'Carroll, and Sims went looking for him and he found him. Eamon O'Carroll has had to be very patient at Wigan, a bench regular for them, but he's been a mainstay of the Irish pack effort in this World Cup.
And he's had to play above his weight, hasn't he? Up against bigger, stronger, and sometimes much more experienced front rowers. I think Eamon O'Carroll's done incredibly well for Ireland so far in this World Cup.
Tadulala was all over Gleeson then. Gleeson got the ball, and in an instant Tadulala was on him. Here's Duran again. And they're looking to try and get him to the touchline, but the Lee player goes to ground. Had a good season, Lee Duran. Well, they might not be one of the biggest World Cup crowds here, but they're making plenty of noise, and it's echoing around this wonderful stadium with its enclosed ceiling, if you like, that curves around the ground. And the noise stays inside it. Here's Semi Tadulala, picks up a bit of pace, gets up to his 20-metre line. McAlorum was there with the tackle.
And it might have taken 25 minutes, but Ireland have got control of this arm wrestler going out there. They've been told that they can't bring the player down by his head. In fact, it was Toro, wasn't it, who carried the ball. Michael McAlorum's. In fact, Ryan Tandy uses his head as a lever to ground the player. And Ireland are penalised for that, but they seemed as though they had Fiji under control.
Yeah, they'd had a good spell there, the Irish. And now Fiji will take play up to the halfway line, although not the best kick from Aaron Green. Looks a bit nonchalant about it, as one of the Fijian players has treatment, and they've immediately lost possession. And this is what the Irish did against Samoa. They did so well against the Samoans.
Nagao, the substitute, probably a little bit rusty, but this is how you get underneath it. You hit the contact to the ball carrying arm. Good work by Simon Finnegan. This is the one area that Ireland can get on top. Some crunching defence. Oh, shocking pass.
Well, Littler was there to retrieve it for the Irish, but they've lost momentum there and they've knocked it on. Littler adjudged to have lost that ball.
I think it should have been a penalty anyway, Bill. The Fijian backs set off before the ball had been moved from the scrum. And look, Ireland lost 10 metres on the scrum play anyway. There's almost no advantage. Then they lose possession.
So Scrappy couple of plays there, first from the Fijians and now from the Irish.
Hands in, guys. Michael, stay in.
Fiji head and feed at the scrum on the Irish 40-metre line.
I think it's becoming quite obvious now that either side, there won't be many opportunities to score. You've got to make sure that if you make that half break, you've got this good support play there and you put points on the board.
Vula Nagao plays that ball, making his World Cup debut from the bench. Nagao. Here's Sims.
Here's 10.
Sims plays the ball. Storer now off the bench. Storer to Groom. Groom to Nakami. He'll play the ball. Ireland's, oh, another fumble. Was it? Play on, says the referee. That looked like a fumble. Still going, it's the winger Uarte, he'll get the try, but surely Ashley Klein will have a look at that. Well, Joe Dakitoga again unmoved. Fiji celebrates.
He's given it.
And Ashley Klein immediately awards that try.
Well, just as the first try came through some individual brilliance, Wes Nagama was the man responsible for that. Here you've had a player stood on the wing, hasn't had much chance to get his hands on the ball, just runs from acting halfback and individually decides to score a try for his country. Breaks through the tackle of Tandy. Too fast, too strong and too powerful here for Ireland to handle. Look, dangerous on those feet because he skips and jumps and changes direction so quickly, but then steps off the left foot inside Lee Durant and crashes through a tiring Irish defence. There's no knock on at all there. Look, skips across, waits till he thinks he sees the hole and then pushes hard through it and pushes for a second score for the Batties.
That was very poor defence indeed. Lee Doran and Ryan Tandy, they went high. When you've got a winger coming at you like that, and I think they hesitated. They anticipated that the official Ashley Klein was going to blow for a knock on. It wasn't. It was just a little bit of a misplay the ball actually. He probably poked his foot onto it twice, and the winger took full advantage.
Uarte with the try, got a hat-trick against the French in that 42-6 win. He's lightning fast, and Wes Nagama adds the extras. Fiji go 12-6 ahead here, so after a real period of stalemate, half an hour gone, and Fiji back in front.
Well, it looks like a combination of Martin Offiah and Jason Robinson at their peak. He has the pace of Martin Offiah and then the elusiveness of a Jason Robinson. He'll aggressively push in between two defenders, just like the try back in the 1998 grand final that Robinson scored for Wigan, drifting across field until he sees a hole, recognises it and puts Fiji ahead again.
But Ireland responded well last time. Can they do so again this time? Of course, the winners heading for the semi-finals. For the nation that goes through, it'll be the first ever opportunity to contest a Rugby League World Cup semi-final. What an incentive that is for these two sides, and a lot of Irish people I've been speaking to suggesting that this, if Ireland go through, they would be the first Irish side from any major sport to get through to a World Cup semi-final. They go back to 1990 and Jack Charlton's quarter-final side in Italia. They failed. Can this Irish side get there? Well, they've got some work to do here.
They've got to improve in their defensive patterns. They cannot afford to let people run at them, and they're just falling off the would-be tacklers. They've got to make sure one goes low, the other one comes in and tries to stop the offload.
Fiji may be sensing that the Irish are running out of gas a bit.
Well, the hunger to defend, Fijian hunger to defend, is visibly different to that from the Irish side. Ireland have missed twice as many tackles as the Fijians at present, but it's just really their effort. Look how quickly they get up off the defensive line. It was the same from the scrum when Littler came up with the error, and from that point, really they've been under pressure. A good run down the far side of the field.
But Ben Harrison might be heading for the sidelines. He does well to stay in the field of play.
This kick has to make sure it hits the ground, not down the throat of Jared Haynes.
Well, Richards has got plenty of height on that, and it's into no man's land really, and they've let that one bounce, and Gleeson taps it on to Blanche, but Blanche has knocked that one on, and then Gleeson is offside, I think. A messy ending there.
Well, it wasn't the best kick. Okay, we were stating that they hadn't got to get it down the throat of the fullback Haynes, but it went virtually straight up. They've got to somehow, Ireland, start turning this Fijian side around. They're failing to do that.
Keep it tight, he's showing right.
it's almost impossible, Bill, to get a good kick at the end of a set when you've been going backwards and struggling to make ground, and that's why the kicks look so poor for Ireland. Fijian defence is just far superior.
On the charge now with Semisi Tora. Plays for the Parks Spacemen out in country New South Wales, and Parks, a town famous for the movie that was made about it, The Dish, an Australian classic film that was. Well, that wasn't classic from Fiji, and Ireland have it back. That's exactly what the Irish wanted.
Well, nice counter play there by Michael Platt, looking to get across field and find some space. I think both of these sides looking to press now and impress before this half-time break. Just about 5 minutes to go here now, a significant point in the game.
Griggs nearly losing his cool there in the tackle. They've got to keep their cool. Here's Tandy. It's a good run from him. Up to the halfway line.
Much better.
And
Quick play
Damien
of the
Blanche
ball.
again. A real thorn in this Fijian side, Damien Blanche. Already got a marvellous try under his belt here tonight. Fitzpatrick looks around and then sees the opportunity maybe for a kick. Oh, Tajalala's knocked that one on. Ireland will get that ball back. Semi Tajalala couldn't take that kick from Fitzpatrick, and Ireland will get another set of 6.
This is where they've got to get the 10 pegs out. They've got to camp down there to make sure at least get a second set of 6.
Big night for Jed Corcoran there, returning to action for this Irish side. You saw him in possession. The Sheffield Eagles player. Here goes Damien Blanche again. He's got the scent of tries in his nostrils in this World Cup as Damien Blanche. Here's Tandy. Tandy pops it up and Finnegan takes the tackle. Does well to hold on to the ball. 4 tackles gone. Griggs will take him on, and Griggs is over the try line for another Irish try. And again, they've responded in fantastic fashion of the Irish. And the captain, Scott Griggs, gets the try for Ireland to bring it back to 12-10 with the kick to come.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of great team play in the build-up to this. There were individual efforts. The knock-on from Temi Tajalala gave him the field position and 6 more runs at the Fijian line. And Griggs just steps inside. It's lovely positioning, doesn't he? It looks as though he's going to drift outside 17 Tora and then steps back against his flow. His momentum then can't change direction quickly enough. And he's then inside of Hayne, able to ground the ball. Good comeback.
There is Wakefield's Scott Griggs, and has done a good job at the standoff role for Ireland in this World Cup competition. Not from position he's over familiar with, but you wouldn't know it from his performances so far in the World Cup. Now Pat Richards, they need him to land this kick, and he did get that record World Cup points tally of 22 in the game against Samoa. He could have had an awful lot more. He missed 5 from 10 in that game. And he wasn't happy with himself afterwards either. You'd think after a performance like that he would have been, but not by his standards. So Richards, this to level the scores. Just towards the end of the first half. Oh! And Richards bangs the upright. 12-10 to Fiji, the score. If this game ends as a draw after 80 minutes, we go to golden points.
You would have put your house on this, wouldn't you? But good play, though, by Ireland. They made sure from the error from Tajalala, and you could see there that Semisi Tora, he didn't have any balance, he couldn't get any weight on his feet to put the hit on. And it just shows you the one thing. After 4 or 5 attempts kicking the ball right down Jared Haynes, the fullback's throat, they kick to Semi Tajalala, comes up with the error. The message is well and truly on the wall. More to Mr. Tajalala, thank you.
Well, they've got to get up the other end of the field first, and Fiji looking to restrict their progress from the restart. So Griggs with the try that has closed the gap again. Tandy, 2 tackles gone, and Fiji there in numbers to stop his progress, the former Whitehaven Widners man, Ryan Tandy. That's good work from Jed Corcoran. You wouldn't know that it was back at the end of July that he last played a competitive game for the Eagles.
Got a bad knock as Ryan Tandy is a little bit dazed at the moment.
Just inside their own 40, and Griggs has gone for a 40-20.
And he's
got it, and he's got it on the back of some good strong runs. First by Corcoran, then by Pat Richards, and that's why kicks look better when your teammate carries the ball, gets up quickly to play it, offers the kicker a far stronger platform. Look, the opposition aren't in his face, he's running forward, he's relaxed, he has time, and he perfectly puts the ball over the 20-metre line in the field of play to offer his side now a minute, probably 6 plays, a full set, looking to go in at half-time in the lead.
Scores the try, then lands the 40-20 that puts Ireland in this great position towards the end of the first half. Just a minute to go.
Let's hope that they don't panic. Remember, earlier in this World Cup, they did panic with a few seconds remaining, and they kicked right from the scrum. Now they'll take the charge, try to go to the sticks, and then whip the ball out wide.
They don't have to score here. It'd be great if they did. Here's Littler. Littler gets the ball wide to Richards. Richards has lost it. Went backwards, says the referee. No, he doesn't. That was just wishful thinking.
Pretty solid defence, and Pat Richards knows he got one for his corner as well. He certainly was a meat in the sandwich then. Was it high? Well, it certainly looked that way. Uate's left arm appeared to be on the top of the shoulder. And not surprisingly, Pat Richards has a look at Ashley Klein and said, "You've got to be kidding."
Well, problems for the Irish because Ryan Tandy can't pack down at this scrum at the moment. He's got blood coming from his nose, I think it is.
He got a real wallop earlier, Bill. He was in Disneyland for a while. Probably still is.
Now he's getting treated. Get in here, Simon.
So Ireland reluctant to pack the scrum down.
Second row. That's it.
I think relieved, Bill, that having had less possession and inside their own half for so much this game, only 2 points behind, they've done well because in the opening quarter the Fijians almost blew them off the field.
Out.
Well, eventually Ireland have the right numbers for the scrum, and Fiji looking to end the first half with a flourish. The ball flung back in field. It's going to come into Irish hands. Oh no, what are they doing now? You'd think it was only a minute to go at the end of the game, but it's just the end of the first half, and what a first half it has been, with Fiji racing into an early lead and Ireland coming back strongly as they had to again after Uate scored on the half-hour mark.